Meet the MillerTech Professional Series Cordless Clipper, your ultimate solution for body clipping horses and thick-coated livestock. With its powerful cordless design, it withstands the toughest demands. Featuring a robust lithium-ion battery with 1.5-hour runtime and quick recharge. It includes 2 blade sets and 2 batteries for continuous clipping, ensuring you never miss a beat. Plus, a heavy-duty blade tension adjustment button and included lubrication oil keep your clippers in top shape. MillerTech, for professional, powerful, and reliable clipping. Get yours today through Connect.com.
Hi, my name is Megan Gidley and I'm the Director of Marketing with Connect, and this is Buck. Today we're in Windsor, Ohio at the Draft Horse Project organization, and I'm going to be sitting down with the founder, Alicia Mateka. She's going to take you through an introduction to their entire organization, what they do here, and more. Let's dive in. Buck's ready. Alicia, I am so happy to be here. Thank you so much for sitting down with me today. And from the last time I was here, I know that you have so much going on in every corner of your farm, but I wanted to start with a quick introduction to your organization as a whole. What can you tell me about the Draft Horse Project and its history?
So we started out actually as just a draft horse rescue. So I was looking to give the draft horse using community an auction to slaughter alternative. So many of the draft horses, after they've served good time, find themselves at auction. So we started going to the auction, outbidding kill buyers and bringing the horses home, rehabilitating them, and rehoming them. So that's how we really started. And what happened in that process was I was really blown away by the effect that these horses had on the people that came to see them, that would bring their kids to visit them, potential adopters of these horses. So I was just like, wow, this is huge impact. And so for me, because of my faith, it was really put on my heart that I was still going to rescue horses, but that I was really to use these rescued horses to help people. So that's how our equine-assisted learning program began. And so while we still do rescue work, really our primary focus is to use these horses to help people overcome obstacles in their lives so that the people can experience greater freedom, joy, and peace.
And I can imagine while you're helping the people, that's also helping the horses in a lot of ways.
For sure.
That's awesome and so heartwarming. I love that story. Before we dive a little bit more into that, tell me what else you have going on your farm. I know personally last time I was here, I absolutely loved playing with the goats and the pigs, but what all do you have going on here?
So I consider myself, I guess, a grass farmer. Because we are using grass to feed our animals that in turn feed us and the community. So we raise Kunekune pigs. Kunekunes are originally from New Zealand. They are the cutest of the pig world and super friendly, super social. And so everything that we have here at the farm, we want to make sure that they're kid-friendly and that they love interacting with people. So the Kunekunes they just fit that bill. So the piglets are adorable, and then the adults are also super friendly and cute. But they're a grazing pig. So again, we're using grass, turning grass into pastured protein. So the pigs are a super big hit with families and kids, adults alike, as you know. And then we also have Nigerian dwarf goats. So we are breeding them for their milk. Using their milk, we believe in using everything, as much of the animal as possible. So the goats produce milk for us, and we make soap, as well as we use lard from the pigs after the pigs are processed, and the lard is rendered to make soap. So we really try to, again, use everything. We also have pastured lamb. So we have a ewe herd, and then we process the ram lambs when they're ready. So again, we're turning grass into wonderful grass-fed lamb. We also pasture our broilers. We raise American breast chickens, which are a heritage breed, so dual-purpose breed for egg laying and meat production. So we have pastured broilers and also pastured eggs. We are not a certified organic farm, but we feed organic feed, and we are a soy-free farm. So our lambs are completely grass-fed. They don't get any grain finishing at all. The pigs receive a small amount of grain, for their vitamins and minerals. And everybody here uses a mineral buffet. So they have 22 different types of minerals that they self-select, so that we're not feeding them just a lump sum mixed mineral. And so it's amazing to watch the seasons change to see what different minerals they're going for at any given time. So, and then we have a dog and a cat and all the horses. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So much going on.
It's a lot.
It's wonderful though, and you're right. All of the animals are so friendly, the Kunekunes especially. They had a lot more energy than any other breed of pig that I've ever been around. They'll run with you, they'll play with you, same with the goats, and it's really heartwarming to just kind of be around them and takes you back in the moment. And I wanted to ask about the Kunekune specifically. I know last time we had talked, you said they're a very sweet meat. Is that just their breed? Is that kind of how you raise them?
So are you asking specifically about the taste of the meat? Yeah. So the meat is red because they're a grazing pig. So so in the wintertime when we're overwintering pigs, if they don't get processed before then, they're eating second cut hay, just like we're feeding the sheep and the horses. So their meat is red like beef. And I think it's because, when you're looking at them compared to like a commercial hog that is just fed, grains, their meat is, they call it the other white meat, right? And so Kunekune meat is very red. The taste is like nothing you've ever had before. If you love bacon, you will just like be over the moon with Kunekune bacon. So, they're a heritage breed. They're considered a lard pig. So for big commercial producers, it doesn't make sense because, their meat, their cuts are kind of petite, I would say. So if you're trying to feed a family of 6 or 8 or 10 people, you're going to have to raise a lot of them. But for families of 2 or 4, the cuts are really nice, and I love it because I know that my pigs are raised on sunshine and a ton of love and fresh green pasture, and when the pasture is not available, the second cut hay, even with hay prices, is very abundant. They live a really good life, and they produce really good flavor.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Back to the draft horses, what sparked your love for the draft horse breed and led you to where you are now?
Well, I've loved horses. I used to ride the broom when I was a kid, at my earliest memories. So I got my first pony when I was 8. I'm 60 now. And so I would say horses have just always been in my blood. And I love big animals. And, the draft horses are the biggest of the horses. They're just incredibly majestic. And what I have found is even within the draft horse breed, the Clydesdales and Shires, which are mostly what we have here at the farm, take their kindness to another whole level. They're just like big dogs. So, when I was getting back into horses a little more than 10 years ago, I wasn't looking for something that was going to do a quarter-mile run after they spooked. So I thought, I would love to have a Clydesdale. So I bought my first horse that wasn't a Clyde, and I wasn't happy until I got my first Clyde, which ended up being a rescue. And so, that's kind of been my passion. And I also think that, the draft horses, they have a kind of a bit of a plight here in our area of, people need an outlet for them after they've been of service. So that was really my passion, is to provide some kind of outlet for these horses that didn't end up maybe at auction and in a bad place, like ending up in the slaughter pipeline. So that was really how it all started. I was trying to help this particular group of horses.
The big puppies of the
big
horse
puppies.
world.
Really well said. Really
That's
well
awesome.
said.
And I think, going back to one of your parts of the intro, I think one of the most unique and heartwarming parts of your story in general and the organization is the work that you do with injured and disabled people. Can you walk me through what you do with these people and how it helps them rehabilitate?
So we don't turn anybody away here. So I always say, if you make it down my driveway, or if you find my phone number via however, we're going to help you in any way that we can. So it's not just the injured or disabled people that we work with. I think we're all kind of injured in some way, even if it's just, internally our heart has been injured, or maybe our mind has been injured, because we've struggled with drug addiction or mental health issues. So we literally don't turn anybody away. If you're a veteran, we do work with veterans. We do people, again, that are struggling with addiction, alcohol, drug addiction. We see a lot of children from the Geauga County court system that have been removed from their home for either abuse or neglect. We see kids that are in foster care. We've worked with some disabled people. Again, we just serve everybody. We just don't turn anybody away, because we all need help at some point in our lives. And what we have found is the people who need our services most often don't have the ability to pay. So we try and keep our scholarship fund full of donations so that we don't have to, again, turn anybody away because of money.
That's amazing. I didn't know that part. And you're right, in every walk of life, no matter who you are, at some point you're going to be injured or hurt, or something's going to happen that's traumatic. And from, all of the podcasts I've done, all the places I visited, there's no word to describe the effect that animals have on people, and just how much they can transform and change by working hands-on with animals.
Yes.
So kind of what do you do? Do you just allow them to be here with the animals, kind of visit? Do they take care of them? Do they help around the farm? What do they do?
So, it really depends. So we have some very organized programs. We have a licensed mental health professional that we work with. And then we always have a horse professional. So there are always two of us doing equine-assisted learning in those sessions. So sometimes those sessions are one-on-one with someone, and sometimes those sessions are groups of people. So again, Diane Wildman is our mental health professional. She's a licensed counselor. So she is involved, like, for example, with the kids from the court systems. And then, we have to report back to the court systems, what things have surfaced, what things we've worked through, and any breakthroughs, that the kids have. So it really depends on the person. We try to tailor each session to the individual. So sometimes I call it the organic session, where somebody comes to visit the farm. They might not even really know why they're here, but someone told them about it. They're curious. And so oftentimes I will take them out to meet the herd. And the herd usually circles around, and then one by one, the horses will leave, and one horse will be standing. And that is the horse, I'm sorry, it'll make me cry.
Oh.
That is the horse that has chosen to work with this person. And so then we will take that horse and we'll go into the arena. We have a brand new arena that we're so grateful for. And just start with, maybe grooming, maybe brushing the horse, and then organically things just surface. It's seriously miraculous, and I don't think there's anybody on the planet that can actually explain what happens, but it just does. I've had people out here with Titan, who's our little goat.
I love him. He's my favorite.
Yeah, he's a huge hit at the farm. I've had adult men in their 30s out here who just can't leave him because he's just made such a big impact. And that's really what we're about. We don't try to control the environments. We try to let everything organically happen. Sometimes we have to mold it a little bit, maybe set the stage for success. But we try to just let things develop, and the animals can really show us a lot about ourselves if we're ready, and that's the key. So it's the people who have been coming here are really ready for transformation, and I love watching it happen. That's what keeps my fire going all the time.
When you can't force something like that to happen, and
No,
if you
ma'am.
tried, it doesn't have the same effect.
Correct.
And Titan has had that effect on me, and I was only with him for a little bit, playing with him. But you're right, you can't explain it. It's inexplicable, but it happens, and you know it does, and you get to see it every day.
Yes.
That's amazing. With how much you have going around the farm and with the organization, how do you get it all done?
Well, the to-do list is never done. So we usually have a whiteboard that's up. I took it down because it's usually up here in a very obvious place. But yeah, I mean, we're never done here, and that is the mentality that I speak to everybody. So we have volunteers that help out, and I just let people know, we're not going at a breakneck pace here. I want to enjoy what we do while we work and get things done. So I do have an assistant farm manager. He's part-time, and he helps me with the feeding and watering of all the animals and the cleaning. So we have manure of every species that needs to be picked up every day. And then a lot of volunteers, and the volunteers come and go. Some people are here for a season. I don't think we have anybody who's been with us from the beginning until now. We've also gotten a lot of people of late that are remanded to do community service. So we have some school kids that before graduation they have to do community service. So we're willing to partner with anybody because we think this experience here is awesome. So it gets done. It might not get done in the timing that I would like, but we all work hard. We don't work fast. That's my rule. We can't work fast because in working fast we miss things. We miss things like maybe one of the sheep are limping, or one of the chickens has an injury, or something is off with one of the goats. So we have to work slow and methodical. And there's a lot of good things come from just observing the animals. So I'm not a taskmaster. If I see somebody standing around observing animals, I'm real happy about that. Yeah, but we get done what we get done, and what doesn't get done goes on tomorrow's to-do list.
Well, and taking things slow helps you be in the present and truly enjoy what you do, which is something, I'm guilty of it. I forget about it all the time. I'm rushing, I got this big to-do list, and it's same here.
Yeah.
But if you aren't taking your time and enjoying it, you miss things. You're right. It's awesome. I know it'll probably be hard to pick, but can you share one of your favorite stories about draft horses you've either rescued or things that you've done with this organization?
A story. Sorry. It's hard for me to get through this story without crying, but it is the one who comes to mind. So Beauty, who was a 25-year-old Shire mare that was surrendered to us with her 20-year-old daughter. The gentleman who surrendered them, kept thinking that they were just going to peacefully pass away. And, he would walk out to the pasture one day and they would just be gone. And, that's not how it happens, right? It just doesn't usually work that way. So he surrendered them, which I commend him for. It was a hard decision. And we gladly took them on. Beauty, who again was 25, we began to notice that she was struggling to get up. And for people who know or don't know horses, they have to lay down to get REM sleep. So it's vital for their health and well-being that they be able to lay down to get sleep. So they do nap standing up, but they have to lay down. So there are some telling signs of people not being able to get up or the horses not being able to get up. And some of them are, they'll have maybe a little rub mark on the back of their hock. So we were observing her because I had seen some of these sores, and then one morning she was down and couldn't get up on her own. So we were able to help her up that morning, and Katie, who is my farm manager's wife, also a volunteer here, said, hey, I used to volunteer at this elephant sanctuary in Thailand. And when the elephants would come in that were really old and couldn't get up anymore from laying down, they built them dirt mounds. So she's like, maybe we could try that for Beauty. So we did. We built her this big mound, and the next morning, because I get up at 5, I got my big flashlight out and was looking out to see where she was, and she knew that we built that for her, and she was laying against it when I shone the light on her, and she was able to get up on her own. So that bought her like 6 more months of life here at the farm. And so I have pictures of her imprints in the sand. We use sand so it would be soft on her. So I have imprints of her face and her neck. Yeah. So again, it makes me cry because it's like she knew we were trying to help her. And then ultimately she couldn't get up from that any longer either, because of age and all of that. But she lived another 6 months with that bed that we made for her. So that's what we do here. We do whatever it takes. We're willing to go the extra mile for people and for animals.
A lot of extra miles,
yeah.
And that's really touching.
Thank you.
I love that story. The animals are very smart. We don't give them enough credit for how smart they are, and especially she knew.
Yeah, she did.
Yep.
She totally knew.
Wow. I know people are going to want to learn more about your organization, especially with everything we've talked about today. How can people learn more about your org and get in contact with you directly?
So they can go directly to our website, www.thedrafthorseproject.org. They can also, my contact information is there. My number is 330-998-4539. I am available, for farm tours and farm visits by appointment. Yeah, so I think those are the best places to get a hold of us, to learn more about us. Call me with any questions. If there's any way that, we can help in the community. We're always, people call me often and I'm like, I don't know if I can help, but I'm going to try, so don't be afraid to reach out.
That's awesome. And Alicia, you are beyond an inspiration for so many others in the equine world and just in general. Your stories are very touching, and they take you and put you in the present and really in touch with your emotions. So I appreciate that, and I've really enjoyed getting to know more about you and your farm. And thank you again for letting me come out here, crash your day, and play with the goats and the pigs. I'll be back for more of that.
I hope so.
Yeah, thank you so much, and thank you so much for all of this wonderful information.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you, and thank you for reaching out to us, and we're really appreciative.
Okay, switch. Tighten. Buddy. Okay. Want to get down? Hey. Quit eating my camera. Ow. Oh. Ow. Okay. Hi. Hey, buddy. Come. Hi, my name is Megan Gidley, and this is Buck. He's on bad behavior today. Come here, buddy. Because you didn't like me on the side there. You like Mary on the side. You don't like me on the side. Yeah, what do you like? Is that good? No? No, no, no. Stay. You got this. Oh. Ow! Hey.
That's not nice. Put my whole thing in your mouth.
Thanks for watching another Get Connected podcast. If you want to hear more from Alicia, make sure you comment down below and subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook page now for notifications when we go live. Thank you. Thanks for watching and have a great week.